Willie D Live.
Good morning. Let me say the case that we have been dealing with now for the last several weeks around Nolan Wells is indicative of many cases around the country that have raised serious questions with racial overtones. Attorney Crump and I are going tomorrow, where I'm doing the eulogy for a young black man in Madison, Wisconsin, homeless, and they say had a knife, and there's the tape of him being shot, 3 cops surrounding him, shot and killed, 4 shots. And these cases building up in a climate of an administration in Washington that we cannot feel will objectively investigate. There was a time that we could say if state authorities fail us, we can go to the Justice Department. Even under George Bush, we went to the Justice Department. We, at this point, have to hope that one, we could deal with civil courts, or secondly, that there's a balance of power with the Democrats taking the House in November, and maybe the Judiciary Committee under that can at least put a check and balance on cases that need to be investigated. But we are right now where we have 2 parents, lovely parents, I've gotten to know them, that really don't have an answer to a question. Is it a civil rights violation or not? And we do not know. How do you trust the words of people that say immediately there was no foul play when you haven't even investigated whether there was foul play? How do you trust people that come back from something that happened and never really give you a straight story of what happened, including you have the keys to the car? So when you have more questions than answers, you have to have people that will drive the answers out, and that's what we do. And that's why I've been involved, and that's why we stay involved. And it gets worse and worse and worse. The parent of one of the boys threatening to sue us for asking a question. Imagine that now. Some of y'all call us, what do you feel about the parents, one of the boys says he's going to sue you and Ben Crump. Sue us for what? For saying what happened? So we've gone back that far. And that is why we're going to stand with these parents, because usually, you know, I come from Brooklyn, New York. I was born and raised there. I don't come from the South. But my mother used to bring me down south to my grandmother in Dothan, Alabama. And Congresswoman, my grandmother told me, you see that pen over there? I said, yes. She said, that's a pen of hogs and pigs. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, always know something. If you take a brick and you throw it in that pile, the hog that hollers is the hog you hit. There's too much hollering going on in Mississippi that we haven't hit something. I can't figure out which one we hit, but we hit something. Because now they talking about lawsuits, they threatening this, threatening a mother of a child, trying to get her job taken. You wouldn't be hollering if we wasn't hitting something. And we're going to stay on that, and we're going to stay on it all the way. In light of that, before attorney, and I call him the Attorney General of Black America, gives us the legal basis, and then we hear from the parents. Congresswoman who lived herself through dealing with the whole tragedy of her own son. That's how we met, on a plane. She was a flight attendant at the time. And she stopped me on the plane and said, "Red Man, why ain't you dealing with my son's case?" And we started a relationship. She ended up being elected right here in Georgia and reelected. They redrew her lines, and she was reelected anyhow. The lines couldn't reduce the favor of the people. Congresswoman Lucy McBath.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to say thank you to Reverend Al Sharpton, and also thank you to Attorney Crump for being the armor bearers for this family, the Nolan's family. It's a really, really sad occasion that we're here again. I was just saying to my staff on the way in, it's like this brings back so many vivid memories for me and my own family, having lost Jordan to unnecessary gun violence in November 2012, Black Friday, simply because he was black and playing loud music in his car. And so here we are again today, here for the loss of another black young man in our community. And we find ourselves asking the same questions. How did it happen? Why did it happen? And this family stands here demanding answers. This family deserves answers. I myself sought the same justice for my son Jordan that they're seeking for theirs, and they deserve answers. And they deserve justice. Amen. Justice that should not be denied this family, or should ever be denied to any of our children or our lost loved ones. As a member of the Congressional Black Caucus, I'm the second vice chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. We are demanding a full federal investigation. Cash Patel, we're demanding a full federal investigation as to what has actually happened to Nolan Wells. We want to make sure that every stone is unturned because his life matters. All of our children's and our families' lives matter. And we must fight back. We must stand up, and we must demand accountability for this family's loss. We cannot turn a blind eye to what continues to happen again and again and again. That's the reason why I ran for Congress, to make sure that we continue to put a face on what's happening to our families and our communities every single day. We must say Nolan's name. Amen. Say his name. Lift his name. And as the national black journalist of this country, you have the ability to be able to lift this story and not let it die. We see over and over again these kinds of tragedies in our communities that continue to happen. And they make it to CNN. They make it to MSN Now. They make it to our local news for maybe 30 days, if that. And then the stories are gone. And the carnage is left with the families and the communities that have lost someone that they love. So I thank the National Black Journalists. Thank you for lifting this family story. Do not let it die. Continue to say his name. Continue to tell his story, because they deserve justice, and it matters. It mattered for me. It mattered for Trayvon. It mattered for Eric Brown. It matters for all of our loved ones that we have lost.
As Attorney Crump comes, let me say, as Congresswoman McBath has said, the caucus has asked the federal government to look into it. For those of us that are worried about the politicalization of the present administration, that is why January becomes important, that we have a judiciary committee that can also monitor when investigation happens now or does not happen. So it won't end there. They may come out with any announcement they want the next month or so. We're having a big march August 28th in Washington we must deal with voting rights, so we have the right people in so we can check and balance. I want to say to people in Mississippi, whatever investigation you come with, once we have a fair and balanced government, your investigation will be investigated. It will not end with what they say in Mississippi. Attorney General of Black America, Benjamin Crump.
Thank you so much, Mentor. Reverend Al, thank you for helping not only lead the effort to get to the truth, but keeping this family in your prayers as you have done so many more families, giving them support. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Eric Hertz, Attorney Lisa Park, Attorney Ahmad Smith. We have the honor of representing the family of Nolan Wells. Obviously, you all have come to know his parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley. And this is hard. I heard Congresswoman Macbeth, who lost her son Jordan almost 12 years ago, and it's still raw and emotional when you hear her talk about the loss of a child. I mean, he's not coming back, and that is the story. Everything else is just, hyperbole, is distractions. The story is what happened to Nolan Wells. Somebody knows something. Somebody saw something. I'm thankful to Reverend Al Sharpton and Mr. Tyler Perry and Terrell Owens and Byron Allen putting up these rewards. I understand others have now put up rewards, and that's good because that means we all have the same objective. We want the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells, and it is urgent. It is urgent because each day that goes by, you worry, will we ever get to the truth? And so that's why we want to thank CBC for calling on the federal authorities and anybody else who has resources to help this family get to the truth of what happened to their son. I know I was talking to Christian Clark, and she said, no, let's make sure that all taxpayers' money that goes to support federal resources apply to our children too. I mean, let's say that nobody should say, oh, it doesn't matter that much because it's a black child. No, it matters. All of our children matter. And so we are going to continue every day to say his name, Attorney Hertz, Attorney Park, Attorney Smith, trying to work with the local district attorney to give them what they need to do a thorough, fair, full, impartial investigation. That's what we're asking for. Everything else is just a distraction because Nolan birthday is next Wednesday, August 19th. It is going to be extremely difficult for his mother, his father, and his family because this August 19th will be like no other that they've ever had for the last 19 years. I mean, it's a milestone when your child gets to be 18 years old. You try to breathe a little easier, Reverend. Now you say, man, we almost got them there. They're at the cusp of being an adult, cusp of manhood. And you heard how Elmore was working so hard, him and Nolan, his football career. I mean, he had a good start, but this was really going to be his year. I mean, so much hope, so much promise. And then July 4th came, and 4th of July will never be the same to Christine and Elmore. And on the 19th, next Wednesday, his family, we're all asking for prayer for Nolan. I know there's going to be a prayer visual in Ocean Springs. I know Reverend Al is going to work to make sure we're all praying all across the nation. But y'all, let's pray. Can we pray together in unity to say, let's get to the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells. Can we do that, America? Can we at least come together in unity on his birthday? Everybody who claimed to ever be a friend of his, can we come together in unity and pray for the truth and try to have love in our hearts for this family, for this broken-hearted mother and father, his sisters and brothers? Can we try to give them grace and give them love and pray for their humanity, for their son who was lost on 4th of July and is never coming back? Is that so much to ask? Let's have a national day of prayer on August 19th, next Wednesday, for Nolan Wells. And at this time, we'll hear from his mother and father, then Eric, and us will try to answer your questions.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for having us, for platforming our son's story. As many of you know, his 19th birthday is next Wednesday. And it's, as the days gets closer, it's definitely getting harder. That realization is really sinking in, that we don't have our son physically here anymore. And I think a lot of people have forgotten. Only thing we want to know is what happened. That's all we want to know, is what happened to our son. Because many parents out there, you still have your children. You still can hug them. You still can call them. You still can celebrate their life with them. And we do not have that anymore. Our lives have forever changed. This new normal is something I would never wish on anyone, not even my worst enemy. The hurt that we feel daily, the conversations that we have to have, not just with each other, but also with our other children as they are grieving as well. So we ask that everyone, please, next Wednesday, join us in prayer. As for us as a family, but also too for everyone out there, but especially for Nolan and the process that we're going through. And again, we thank you so much.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who's constantly keeping our son's story in the forefront. You don't know how much we really appreciate that. Nolan brought life to our family. He was the fun in it. And with his birthday coming up, like my wife said, we have to deal with a new normal. Who knows what these years are going to bring, but we know that these years on August 19th is going to bring a lot of hurt, some laughter as we think about memories, but as far as our family, a very big piece will no longer be there. We just want the truth. We just want to know what any other parent would want to know. We're asking the questions any parent would ask. And if you feel that something's wrong with that, then that's a problem that you have to deal with. But as far as us and our family, we're just asking for truth, transparency, and to please keep us in your prayers. Next week is going to be a hard week, and the years follow are going to be hard. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christian and Elmore. It never gets easy, Reverend Al. And they're asking, I know Reverend Jamal Bryant is coming to Ocean Springs. Anybody who can come to Ocean Springs to be at the prayer vigil with them on a Wednesday evening at 7 p.m., please come. And if you can't come, please have prayer vigils in your city and your communities. We need to find out what happened. Attorney Hurts, Attorney Parks, and Reverend Allen, as we're trying to answer your questions. The family, obviously, the motion, they'll try to answer questions if they can. Any questions?
Yeah, what's up?
Hello, my name is Logan John, NABJ.
Yeah, give us where you're calling, where you.
NABJ News.
Okay.
What do you believe accountability and justice for Nolan Walls should look like?
It's very simple. As we always say, if it was your child, what will accountability and justice look like? Well, that's the same thing they want for their child. Whatever it would be for your child, that's the same thing they want. Whatever investigation you would do for your child, that's the same investigation they want. We're not asking for anything special. We just want equal justice for our children too.
And I think that we must be very much emphasizing is they have said, again here with the press conferences and statements they've made throughout, when they started at our headquarters in Harlem speaking to the press, they're not trying to come to conclusion. The other side did, saying that there was no foul play. They're trying to tell us what happened. And we're going to stand with them on that, and as well as other cases around the country. Yes, sir.
I'm Ezekiel Telemacher with ABC 24. There's been a lot of misinformation and rumors spreading on social media. Is there anything that you guys would like to debunk that you've seen that has stood out to you?
Let me just say this.
Well, I mean, I think that social media has distorted a lot. I think for myself and Ben, we're public figures that you're going to have social media lie on us every day. I don't even know if I'm really here according to social media. But what hurts us is the distortions they've done on the family, where they've harassed her in her job and sent stuff to their house, distorted with the father's question. They didn't ask to be public figures. They only are trying to get justice for their son. So I would just say, whatever social media people are trying to get likes and hits and all, do that against people like me that offered ourselves public. They didn't ask for this. All they want is what happened to their son.
And I'll simply say this because that question has come up, and I released a statement, and I want to be clear about it. We defend the First Amendment rights of content creators reporting on Nolan Wells' case. We stand with content creators, independent journalists, and citizens who are responsibly reporting on the Nolan Wells case and asking legitimate questions in pursuit of truth and accountability. The First Amendment protects robust public discussion on matters of public concern, and those protections are not reserved just for traditional media. We are deeply concerned when cease and desist letters, threatened lawsuits, or other legal pressure become tools to intimidate or silence lawful scrutiny. There is an important difference between knowingly spreading false information and asking questions, examining. I want to make sure I get it exactly as we say it. Okay. There's an important difference between knowingly spreading false information and asking questions, examining evidence, identifying inconsistencies, expressing opinions, and demanding transparency. Reporting should not be silent. Reporting should not be silenced. and legitimate questions should not be met with intimidation. Those seeking truth and accountability in the Nolan Wells case have every right to continue asking questions and demanding answers, because we are America and we have a right to the First Amendment. That includes black people and all people.
Hi, Denise Clay Murray, Philadelphia Hall Monitor. My question is for Congressmember McBath. Has the formal request for the FBI from the Congressional Black Caucus been delivered to the FBI, and what deadline have you given them for a response?
We've actually we've actually written a letter, a formal letter, and it's already been executed. We've already sent it forth. We are giving them time to respond. We did not give them a specific deadline, but we did say that we are expecting to have an answer as soon as we possibly can.
Attorney Crump, Ryan Young from CNN. Thank you to the family again for standing here and talking to us. There's been a lot about the meeting that you were supposed to have with the DA's office and the cooperation that they were supposed to be giving. Can you update us and tell us whether or not the family has had any contact with the DA's office? Are they talking with you? Have investigators put their arms around you at all?
Attorney Eric Hertz and Attorney Parkman, please.
Hi, I'm Eric Hertz with law firm Eric J. Hertz PC, and I am heading the independent investigation in this case. I think the first thing, before I get to the exact question, is what's worse than losing a child? Probably nothing. But what makes it horrible is not knowing, and transparency is the key. So with us going into this case as doing an independent investigation, we first thank all the people on stage, all the people that have helped, and we thank you, the media. We have had much communication with the district attorney, and I feel that is confidential. We have cooperated, I can tell you that, and we just want to cooperate like anyone else would have to cooperate, and we are continuing to do that. It's a duty to our clients.
So just to address that specifically, you may already realize and already know there was a meeting on July 15th in Mississippi with the DA's office. At that meeting, there were several things discussed about the investigation regarding Nolan Wells and what happened to him. In that meeting, there were several things that were set out and agreed to, and we expect the DA, as well as our own team, to follow those agreements.
Yes, sir.
It's Greg and it's Greg Dunmore from Post Beat Media out of Detroit, the ABC sister station TV20. Evil prevails when good men and women remain silent when the facts come out, and they will come out. If it indicates that something sinister did not happen and it was a freak accident, will you believe that the truth is still not being revealed? Because if the truth is not going to indicate on some level that something sinister was done, will you not believe it to be something else if the truth is that it was not?
If the truth comes out,
yes,
and it's clear, then we will accept the truth. That's all we're asking for. And we only have said that the people that are attacking them for raising the question of the truth say the same thing. I think that we've leaned over backwards in every press event, at the funeral, me doing the eulogy, saying we weren't going to prejudge. Yet they keep getting lambasted. Imagine this. You're losing your child and you're being attacked for asking what happened. I mean, they're not political figures. Why are they under attack?
Trying to see what happened, family. Let's see. We can get back going. Strangest thing. I don't know what happened. This video is good. There's no problem with the internet connection. Shows all. Wow, that's crazy. I don't know what happened. But the devil is busy.
Them on that, and as well.
Those seeking truth.
ABC Sister Station TV 20. Evil prevails when good men and women remain silent when the facts come out, and they will come out. If it indicates that something sinister did not happen and it was a freak accident, will you believe that the truth is still not being revealed? Because if the truth is not going to indicate on some level that something sinister was done, will you not believe it to be something else if the truth is
If
that
the-
it was
if the
not?
truth comes out,
Yes.
and it's clear, then we will accept the truth. That's all we're asking for. And we only have said that the people that are attacking them for raising the question of the truth say the same thing. I think that we've leaned over backwards in every press event, at the funeral, me during the eulogy, saying we weren't going to prejudge. Yet they keep getting lambasted. Imagine this. You're losing your child, and you're being attacked for asking what happened. I mean, they're not political figures. Why are they under attack?
Okay, can't figure out what's going on, fam. So I'm gonna have to end this live, but I think we got enough of it. We got enough to see what's going on. That's the update. Nolan Wells got Ben Crump is calling for a National Day of Prayer on August 19th in commemoration of Nolan Wells' birthday. So that's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be very interesting to see if his friends are going to join in on that National Day of Prayer. Ben Crump said, look, man, if you cared about Nolan at all, if you care about this family at all, then please join us. Let's see how that plays out. I want to know, give me a thumbs up if you think the so-called friends will join in the National Day of Prayer next week, as we all will. I know I definitely will be involved in that. So give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Y'all said no sound? No sound? No sound. Wait a minute. What the heck? Can y'all hear me? Sound. Can y'all hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I guess y'all did because y'all are responding. So y'all don't think that they're going to show up? Y'all don't think that they're going to, What about show up at the vigil? They're going to do a candlelight vigil. A vigil. What do you think? They absolutely are not going to show up for that. But they're not going to pray for Noah. They're not going to pray for Noah Wells. They never prayed for Noah when they so-called say he went missing. They didn't pray for him then. They didn't pray for him when his body was discovered, and they didn't pray for him when he was funeralized. So personally, I think right now they're running scared. But at the same time, I think they get a reassurance daily, from the local officials in Mississippi who kind of look out for their own. They look out for their own. They look out for rich people, especially rich white people. So I don't see them really doing anything. I don't want to be cynical. I think you can. I think you can. It's possible to be. I think it's possible to be optimistic, yet a realist, and that's why I stand. I'm optimistic. I hope that things turn out well. I hope that the family get justice. But looking at Mississippi's history, I'm an odds man, I'm a numbers man, and looking at Mississippi's history, knowing what type of uncivilized mutts run that state, I mean, from healthcare to law enforcement to the judicial system to the education system to transportation to the construction, architecture, landscaping, everything you can think of. Uncivilized mutts, all in the boating industry. Yeah. And the grandfather had some boating industry connections. I don't trust none of them. I do not trust none of them. And whatever investigation that they were supposed to be conducting, I think personally is non-existent. I think they just call it an investigation to buy time, make people think something is happening. We're investigating. No matter what happened, we're investigating. We're investigating. They say they're investigating without giving any proof or any updates of an investigation actually being in progress. Think about that. We're investigating. But no updates, no suspects, no evidence collected, but we're investigating. It's funny how fast they investigated and brought charges against people who was accusing or threatening the judge. They threatened the judge. They didn't kill her. They just threatened her. And they put people in jail. Nolan is dead. And ain't nobody in jail. I wonder why. Drop a comment, fam. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Till next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.